For decades, we have wrestled with the environmental consequences of plastic waste. Images of plastic-choked oceans and overflowing landfills have become all too familiar. In response, we've searched for alternatives, embracing materials touted as biodegradable and compostable. Biodegradable bags, in particular, have emerged as a beacon of hope, promising a guilt-free way to carry our groceries and dispose of waste. They are marketed as eco-friendly, breaking down harmlessly into the environment, unlike their traditional plastic counterparts. This promise of a solution to our plastic problem has resonated deeply with consumers. The desire to make environmentally responsible choices has fueled the demand for biodegradable alternatives. But what if this perceived solution is, in fact, a hidden threat to human health? What if the very products designed to alleviate environmental burden are silently introducing new dangers into our lives? New research suggests this may be the case, urging us to look beyond the biodegradable label and confront the potential consequences of our choices. Recent research from Southeast University in China has cast a long shadow on the perceived safety of biodegradable bags. This groundbreaking study has sent ripples through the scientific community, raising questions about the materials we often consider eco-friendly. This study, published in a leading scientific journal, reveals a disturbing link between exposure to biodegradable bags and adverse health effects. The findings are not just a minor concern, but a significant revelation that could change how we view biodegradable products. The researchers discovered that these bags, often made from plant-based materials, could be releasing microscopic particles known as microplastics as they break down. These microplastics are tiny, often invisible to the naked eye, yet they carry the potential to cause significant harm. These microplastics, they found, have the potential to infiltrate our bodies and disrupt our biological processes. Once inside, they can travel through our bloodstream, potentially causing inflammation and other health issues. The implications of this are vast and concerning. The study's findings are particularly alarming because they challenge the widely held assumption that biodegradable products are inherently safe. For years, consumers have been led to believe that these products are the better choice for both personal health and the environment. They underscore the urgent need to look beyond marketing claims and scrutinize the potential long-term impacts of these materials. Marketing often paints a rosy picture, but the reality, as this study shows, can be far more complex and troubling. This is not to say that all biodegradable products are harmful, but it does highlight the critical need for rigorous scientific evaluation and transparent communication about their potential risks. Not all biodegradable materials are created equal, and some may pose more risks than others. The health of our planet and the well-being of future generations depend on our willingness to ask hard questions and demand answers. It is only through diligent research and open dialogue that we can ensure the safety and sustainability of the products we use daily. The journey towards a truly sustainable future is fraught with challenges, but it is a path we must tread with caution and awareness. To understand the potential health risks of biodegradable bags, the researchers at Southeast University conducted a controlled study using mice. This study was meticulously designed to simulate real-world conditions as closely as possible, ensuring that the findings would be relevant and applicable to everyday life. The researchers aimed to uncover the hidden dangers that might be lurking in materials we often consider safe. They divided the mice into groups and exposed them to varying levels of microplastics derived from biodegradable bags. Each group was subjected to different concentrations, ranging from low to high, to observe the spectrum of potential effects. This method allowed the scientists to pinpoint the threshold at which microplastics begin to cause harm. The mice were then monitored for changes in their behavior, organ function, and overall health. Researchers meticulously recorded every detail, from the mice's eating habits to their physical activity levels. Regular health checks were conducted to track any emerging symptoms or abnormalities, providing a comprehensive overview of the mice's well-being. The results were deeply concerning. The data revealed a stark contrast between the control group and those exposed to microplastics. Researchers were alarmed by the rapid onset of health issues, which became evident much sooner than anticipated. The mice exposed to higher levels of microplastics exhibited a range of health problems, including liver and ovary damage. The liver, a vital organ responsible for detoxifying the body, showed significant signs of stress and impairment. Similarly, the ovaries, crucial for reproduction, were adversely affected. raising concerns about the long-term implications for fertility and population health. Further analysis revealed disruptions in the mice's molecular biomarkers, indicating that the microplastics were interfering with their cellular processes. These biomarkers, which serve as indicators of biological health, showed clear signs of distress. The molecular disruption suggested that the microplastics were not just causing surface-level damage, but were penetrating deep into the cellular machinery. These disruptions are particularly worrisome because they suggest that microplastics can have systemic effects on the body, potentially leading to a range of chronic health conditions. The systemic nature of these effects means that multiple organs and systems could be compromised, leading to a cascade of health issues that might be difficult to trace back to their original cause. The study's findings serve as a stark reminder that what we release into the environment can come back to haunt us, often in ways we least expect. The pervasive nature of microplastics means they can infiltrate various ecosystems, eventually making their way into the food chain and ultimately, our bodies. The consequences of our choices, even those made with the best intentions, can be far-reaching and profound. This research underscores the importance of reevaluating our use of materials and the need for more sustainable alternatives. It also highlights the critical role of scientific research in uncovering hidden threats and guiding us towards safer, healthier practices for both our bodies and our planet. Section 4. The unseen threat of microplastics. Microplastics, tiny particles of plastic less than 5 millimeters in size, have become a ubiquitous pollutant, infiltrating our oceans, waterways, and even the air we breathe. These microscopic fragments originate from a variety of sources, including the breakdown of larger plastic items, synthetic textiles, and even cosmetics. Alarmingly, research has shown that microplastics are not just an environmental concern, but also a potential health hazard. Studies have linked microplastic exposure to a range of adverse health effects in both marine life and humans. These tiny particles can be ingested or inhaled, making their way into our bodies and accumulating in our tissues. Once inside, microplastics can trigger inflammation, oxidative stress, and cellular damage. The long-term consequences of microplastic exposure are still being investigated, but the emerging evidence paints a concerning picture. It is becoming increasingly clear that microplastics are not just an eyesore in our environment, but a potential threat to our health and the health of future generations. Section 5. Traditional plastic versus biodegradable, a false dichotomy. The debate over plastic bags often pits traditional plastic against biodegradable alternatives, framing the choice as a simple matter of environmental responsibility. This binary perspective suggests that by merely switching from traditional plastic to biodegradable options, we can significantly reduce our environmental footprint. But is it really that straightforward? However, the recent research on microplastics from biodegradable bags challenges this binary thinking. Scientists have discovered that biodegradable bags, while designed to break down more quickly than traditional plastic, do not completely disappear. Instead, they fragment into smaller pieces known as microplastics. It suggests that the environmental benefits of biodegradable bags may come at a hidden cost to human health. These microplastics can infiltrate our water sources, soil, and even the air we breathe, posing potential risks to both human health and wildlife. The study highlights that the breakdown process of these bags, while seemingly beneficial for the environment, can release harmful microplastics into the surrounding ecosystem. This means that the very solution we thought was helping the planet might be contributing to another form of pollution. This raises the question, are we simply trading one form of pollution for another? While traditional plastic bags are notorious for their persistence in the environment, biodegradable bags might be introducing a different kind of problem. The answer is complex and requires a nuanced understanding of the life cycle impacts of both types of bags. It's not just about how quickly a bag breaks down, but what it breaks down into and the subsequent effects on the environment and health. Traditional plastic bags, while persistent in the environment, may pose a lower risk of microplastic release during their lifespan. They tend to remain intact for longer periods, which means they don't fragment into microplastics as quickly. Biodegradable bags, on the other hand, while breaking down more readily, may release harmful microplastics in the process. This fragmentation can lead to widespread distribution of microplastics, affecting various ecosystems and potentially entering the food chain. The solution lies not in choosing one over the other, but in reducing our reliance on single-use bags altogether. By adopting reusable bags, we can significantly cut down on the waste generated and mitigate the environmental and health impacts associated with both traditional and biodegradable bags. It's about making more sustainable choices and rethinking our consumption habits